Colors Restaurant will show you how to work with eggs. Plain and simple. He's going to show you some dynamic ways to create beautiful eggs. So, to that, I will turn it over to Chef Phil.
Good morning, East Market shoppers. My name is Phil Jones. I'm the Chef and General Manager at Colors. And Colors, let me get situated here. Colors is located at 311 East Grand River, right in Paradise Valley, in the lower level of the car center. And we are actually a program run by the Restaurant Opportunity Center of Michigan. Our parent organization is called the Restaurant Opportunity Center United, which is out of New York. It was formed shortly after 9/11 in response to the Twin Towers coming down. One of the co-founders of our organization actually worked in the Twin Towers, and he lost 73 of his co-workers that day. There are also 13,000 displaced food service workers in the city of New York. So our organization, which we call ROCK, was formed in an effort to get people back to work. Along the way, we became advocates for change, trying to right some wrongs in the industry. Currently, the tip minimum wage for people, those people who get tips, it's only $2.13 an hour. So we fight against those kinds of things, trying to get that minimum wage level raised. And we also fight against racial discrimination, sexual harassment, unsafe working conditions, and a plethora of issues in the food service industry. So Colors opened up in 2006 in Manhattan, and we're the Sending Colors. We are actually a training facility located in Paradise Valley, as I said before, and we're here to increase earning capacity of local food service workers. And we have a very intimate relationship with farmers and the market here, so that's why we're here to support the Eastern Market and show you how to use some of the products that you can get right out here. All year long, you're able to get eggs, so today we're going to show you how to work with eggs. We're going to be making a lot of different egg dishes, and you see them all over the place. You can actually talk to the people who are raising the hens that are laying your food, so this is really a wonderful opportunity for you. And we're going to show you a bunch of stuff you can get in the market, some of the things you can get around the market, and show you some easy recipes. We're going to start out with something very, very simple that people have a hard time with, and it's just plain old scrambled eggs. So watch me as I show you how to scramble some eggs. Okay, one of the keys to good scrambled eggs is to start with a good product. And that's what you can get right out here in Eastern Market at any one of these stands that are actually growing the eggs for you, so you can talk to the people who are producing your food. So here we got some extra large regular eggs. First version of scrambled eggs I'm going to show you is a little bit firmer egg. It's not as creamy, but it's pretty much a standard scrambled egg that you see in a lot of places. You're going to notice that I'm getting my pan hot, because what we're going to do is we're going to bring that heat up to the pan, and we're going to actually let that egg cook a little bit in the beginning. And the key to all of it is when you take the eggs off. And I'm going to scramble up the eggs here, but I'm not going to scramble them too much because we don't want to really develop any stringiness with the whites and such. So I just want to get them started here. And you're going to notice I'm going to take a little pinch of salt at this point in time. I'm using a little gray sea salt, because we don't use any of that stuff in the round tube, because that's the worst salt in the world for you. And now I'm going to get my butter into my pan. And you're going to notice as the butter melts, you're going to see a sizzling. And that sizzling is actually water. So you're going to want to either use the water or discard the water. In this case, we're going to use the water, because that water is going to actually create steam inside the eggs. It's going to give them a little bit of lift and make them nice and fluffy. And you see I'm working with a high heat spatula. Notice the dark handle here. That's always a signal that you're working with a high heat spatula. Anytime that you're cooking, you want to use one of these because it won't melt and break up in your food. And you see I got that a little bit of a start, and I'm starting to pull the egg from the bottom, and I'll pull it off the heat. Give it a stir. I said before, we're using the water from the butter to help create a little bit of lift and a little bit of steam inside the eggs. And that's what you'll notice, the eggs are puffing up around the edges. Now here's the key to your eggs, is when you take them off and when they're ready. We're basically going to take them off a little bit before they're done. And to illustrate that, we're just going to put this in this other pan here. Now, so that's very simply how to make light and fluffy scrambled eggs. At this point in time, we're going to grind a little fresh black pepper on it. You notice it's not 100% set, it's not hard looking, and it's going to be nice and light and fluffy. And we're going to have some samples for you in just one moment, but this is the first technique. And this just really want to regulate your heat, not to really overcook your eggs. Now, like I said, we're going to go for a creamier egg, so we're going to start with a cold pan, and we're not going to even stir up or mix or scramble the eggs in advance. Once again, using the water from the eggs. And this method, we're going to bring the temperature down just a little bit. And notice we're not using nice gentle heat. And I'm going to stir this pretty regularly. One thing you'll notice is the egg whites and the egg yolks actually come together and gel at different temperatures. Egg whites set at about 163 degrees, egg yolks set at about 165 degrees, so that's what the difference is in when they're setting. Letting it cook hard like the first batch, just really keeping a good stir on it. And we're going to be breaking these eggs up as we're stirring it, keeping it nice and creamy. Going to bring it off the heat at the end here. And you'll notice that this is a little bit creamier, a little bit less solid as the first set. And to get it even creamier than that, you can add a little heavy cream. Now, just to take it to the next level here, we're going to take our scrambled eggs and we're going to add some stuff to it to make it a little bit different. We're going to add some olives, a little feta cheese, and some capers. We're going to give it some fresh herbs here. So we're going to give a Greek feeling to this next set of scrambled eggs. Okay, now we're going to do the Greek style scrambled eggs. And then what we're going to do is a little different in this one. We're going to add a little olive oil to it, so a little bit of flavor, because eggs can really get a lot of flavor from whatever fat you're using. The olive oil is also a little bit healthy for you. But we're still going to have a little butter flavor in there because we want that underlying richness from the butter. What do you need? Okay, this one we're going to allow the butter to melt completely. Allow that water to come off of it. We don't necessarily want that kind of egg at this time. So as you notice, it's melting. You're going to see this little sizzle in a minute. When it starts bubbling up, that's the water leaving the butter. get a little bit of garlic flavor into this before it gets too far. We're going to be removing the garlic. A little smash, we're going to leave the cloves pretty whole. You notice a little browning on the butter. This means it's time for us to get his eggs in here. Trying to be careful because we're going to be adding some salty elements to the eggs. I'm going to rough chop some olives. Then we're going to take some fresh basil and chop that up. I'm sorry, that's fresh oregano. And we're adding a little feta to finish it. Donald, cold bowl, please. That's a Greek scramble, the Greek feta scramble, really quick, really easy to make. Ingredients are available here. You can get olives from Rocky Peanut, fresh herbs from all around the market, eggs everywhere here in the market. Really simple, easy to do, a little extra bright flavor. So before, my name is Phil Jones. I'm the chef and general manager at Colors, located at 311 East Grand River in Detroit, right in Paradise Valley, the lower level of the Car Center. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 3 for lunch and for special events.
I'm Drew Brees, and being a dad means the world to me. And one of the most important things any parent can do is make sure their kids get active at least 60 minutes each day. Studies show that physical activity not only helps kids stay healthy, it can enhance important skills like concentration and problem solving, which can improve academic performance. This means physical activity can help your kids in the most important game of all, life.
Right now we're going to do a quick demonstration on how to poach an egg. Okay, so a lot of people hear about poached eggs and really don't know how to do it and how to go about it. And it's a pretty simple process. What we're going to do here is we're going to get our water boiling, and then we're going to bring it back down to just barely a simmer. One of the things that you're going to want to do is put a little vinegar in your water, because that's going to help the whites of the albumin set, and so you'll get a nice product. we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of a spin on the water. That spinning action is going to help gather the egg white around the yolk and give you a more consistent product. We'll let this settle down a little bit. Great. I got it going a little bit too fast there. Just let it slow down a little bit. But you notice a little whirlpool action going in towards the middle of the pot. And you see how the egg white is gathering around the egg. We'll put another one in, but we don't want to crowd the pot. And we're going to let this cook now. This only takes a couple minutes. Get another container. Put a little vinegar in the water to help the egg white set. And we're going to let this cook for a couple minutes because we want a nice set white, but we want that yolk nice and runny and creamy. And one thing you can do is you always can poach your eggs in advance of a party or an event or for breakfast. You can do it a couple days in advance at the maximum. And what you do is you take this out of the water as it's hot, put it in ice water and shock it and stop the cooking process. And we're getting there. The white's almost set here, and when it's quite set,
Bill, where is your restaurant at?
we're located at 311 East Grand River in the lower level of the car center. You can do that if that's what you want to do. Yes. Yep. It is a boiled egg, but just out of the shell. The one thing that you might want to do when you're using these poached eggs is that a lot of times we put them on a salad or something, but actually the yolk becomes the sauce, it becomes where the flavors are transmitted for the rest of the dish. And so that would be a reason that you would leave your yolk runny, but if your preference is to have a solid yolk, you can do that too. But you still don't want to overcook that yolk because you don't want it to be rubbery and hard. And you'll notice we're starting to almost get 100% set right around the yolk here. And once that's set, we're done. This isn't a glamorous process, but it is a really nice egg once you get done. And this is what you're looking for.
And then you shock it.
Yep, I'm gonna shock them right there. Yolk should run, and that's what you're looking for. Okay, we're gonna make an herb omelet real quick. And we're using some fresh eggs from the market today. The eggs are available here year round. We're gonna throw a little bit of tomato in there, some fresh basil, some fresh oregano, some fresh thyme. Yeah, the poached eggs that we just did, if you bring your water to a boil, bring it down to a simmer, put in a little bit of vinegar to help set the whites a little bit. Agitate the water so it's swirling very gently, and then drop your eggs gently down into the center. You want it to drop about 4 or 5 inches in the water because that allows that egg white to set before it hits the bottom.
Doesn't matter what kind of vinegar you use?
White vinegar is best because it's not adding too much of a flavor, but any kind of do. Okay, we're getting ready to do a quick herb omelet. So what we're going to do is get our herbs ready to go. And like I said, we're going to use a little fresh thyme, a little fresh oregano, fresh basil. And then we're going to use a melange of herbs and greens. It's a microgreen, it's a rainbow mix. Thyme is one of my favorite herbs. It has a little slightly citrusy flavor to it, but it's a really great base herb. It really works well in different layers of your food. You can put it in early, and that allows you to have a nice flavor base that people don't know exactly where it's coming from. And with thyme, you're going to want to use the tender leaves and not much stem. But as long as the stem is kind of tender, you can use that too. What you're going to do is to strip it upwards, and where it breaks off is generally where you can start going from. Herbs are available at the different stands here, grown fresh. We're just going to roll our basil leaves up and get a little chiffonade across of it here. Get it chopped up for you. Keep our butter from burning. This time we're going to season them up a little bit using a nice gray salt, gray sea salt. We're going to throw a couple capers in there, so we don't want to really put a lot of salt in there because you're going to get some saltiness from the capers. We're going to add our herbs at this time. We just want to mix throughout the omelet. A little freshly ground black pepper. And you notice I'm not breaking this omelet up at all. I'm just moving it off to the side, letting the new product come down and cook on the pan. Because we want a nice tender omelet in the interior. We want some set on the outside, but nice and creamy on the interior. And I just broke through a little hole right where it was pulling up the most, so it allows the egg to go down to the bottom and cook a little bit. I'm gonna let that set for just a moment, and you may or may not be able to smell it, but you can actually smell it browning a little bit. And at this point in time, we're gonna let that exterior set. A well-flipped egg at a brunch, make you starve for a year. And there's a finished product. We're going to put a little microgreens over the top. And then we're going to add a little olive oil for a little extra flavor. Once again, my name is Phil Jones. I'm the Chef and General Manager of Colors, located at 311 East Grand River. We're here doing the Taste of Eastern Market today, and we're just showing you some different techniques and some things to do with eggs.